What if I tell you that Secret Superstar was as good as a remake of DDLJ? And one that must be studied because it goes the extra mile and rectifies all the problems that DDLJ chose to ignore. Perhaps that is why DDLJ is a film that people keep going back to, while Secret Superstar is just another good film that had to be forgotten. Because it gets too real to be remembered for over 3 decades. After all,
एक पब्लिक पॉपकॉर्न लेकर बैठी है फैमिली के साथ में, उनके पैसे का चॉकलेट मत कर, सब चकाचक होना चाहिए और एंड हैप्पी.
Hi, I'm Siddhar and this is Think Think Think. Simran and Insia, despite their different goals, have the same deep-rooted aspiration for freedom. The only difference is that while Simran looks for that freedom in love, Insia finds it in independence, for herself and her mother. The family dynamics for both these characters are absolutely the same. The same peace in the absence of their father and the same terror in his presence. Both mothers being equally supportive and helpless at the same time, teaching the same lessons of sacrifice to their daughters that they were once taught. This brings Insia and Simran to the same dead end where they both get an opportunity. For Simran, it is the Europe trip, and for Insia, it is a YouTube channel taking them on a journey to give them a chance out of their pit hole. Enter Raj and Shakti Kumar. Though one is a love interest and the other a mentor, if you look closely at the arcs of these relationships, you will find the same contributions. Just as Shakti Kumar helps Insia find help for her case, a newfound belief in having a happier, safer life, Raj brings about a hope in Simran for having a life of her choice, the one that she was always told she could never have. The hope that gives her the confidence to go against her father's will, for the first time in her life, not caring about his consent. However, this is where DDLJ completely shifts focus from Simran to Raj. Suddenly, the story that was about a girl aspiring love and freedom becomes a story about the guy winning over the girl's family. But not in Secret Superstar. It remains Insia's story till the end and does not let Shakti Kumar solve her problems for her. Despite the detour, both films have a not so coincidental similarity in their climax. You see Simran and Insia literally leaving behind their past, one at an airport and the other at a railway station. But the key difference is the closure both films give on the injustice inflicted on their female characters. And the way Secret Superstar deals with it is what makes it a more important film than DDLJ, and at the same time less popular. I agree that DDLJ is supposed to be a family entertainer, and completely villainizing the father wouldn't have let it become what it is today. But what I also cannot make peace with is the fact that it validated Simran's father's opinions and thoughts, and gave him the ultimate say over her life. To explain this better, let's look at Secret Superstar for a moment. Imagine if in the last scene, the writers had decided to call it a truce between the father and the mother, where he promises to be a better man and makes an effort to understand Insia and her dreams, perhaps cancel his trip and show up at her big moment. It would have suddenly made you forgive the character, and that in itself is forgiving his misogyny and entitled behavior, because ant bhala to sab bhala. And that's exactly what happened in DDLJ. Raj, trying to win over Simran's father, justifies his beliefs. And not just that, Raj goes a step further and tries to fit into his idea of being a rooted Indian. I once read somewhere that toxicity lies in the inconsistency of a person's behavior, and that makes so much sense in this case. You know Insia's father cannot be trusted and she must leave him. But with Simran's father, you're constantly under the pressure of misjudging him, because he did send his daughter on the Europe trip, and he does appreciate her. One can even argue that the only reason he did not want Simran to marry Raj is because he was deceitful. But in the film's effort to give Raj the opportunity to do the right thing, that is to marry Simran with her father's blessing, it justifies each of his actions before that. The man literally saw his daughter sacrificing her whole life in exchange for a trip with her friends as a fair deal. How does that make him any different then?
अब इन आखिरी के महीनों में जितना बचपना करना है कर लो, है ना?
The only difference between the two has to be the background music.
जा जी ले अपनी जिंदगी मेरी बच्ची.
All said and done, there is no doubt that DDLJ is a great film, and in many ways was path-breaking. Simran, unlike the other characters at that time, was imperfect, and that was one of the reasons why she felt so real and relatable. She actually had a personality, desires not just for a man or a career or some sort of revenge, but desire to just have fun, which as far as I remember was pretty non-existent before that for any female character in any film. So it is unfair to judge the film in comparison to Secret Superstar, which had a more educated and aware audience to appreciate the choices made by the film. And had DDLJ made the same choices, it would have been dismissed by its audience. So why make this video at all, right? Well, here's the thing. While our cinema has made progress from DDLJ to Secret Superstar, it makes me wonder, have we as an audience made any progress at all? Because even today, though films like Secret Superstar might make good numbers at the box office, the films that are really shaping the era still make the same choices as DDLJ, of feeding into the delusion of the masses. The delusion that keeps them from looking into the flaws in our culture, country and society in general.
So, a scene where Andrew Garfield saves a character. Quite an emotional scene. People were clapping America में. लेकिन इंडिया में हंस रहे थे लोग वो सीन पे क्योंकि वो दिल टूटा आशिक है. So can you see the difference between Indian audience and global audience, how they receive entertainment?
It might be an overstatement to say that cinema has the power to shape society, but it certainly wouldn't be unfair to say that its reception in the audience is a great reflection of the society. And that said, isn't it a bit concerning that a large chunk of the audience is continuously choosing to be delusional than being open to criticism and grow? I guess that's just something to think.
अरे हाँ, you are a genius. You are not only genius, you are indigenous.